In this video, we are going to learn about the characteristics of good teaching. So the first important characteristics is providing opportunity for pupil self-learning. So we can say that this teacher is teaching well, teaching good. We can say that only when the teacher is encouraging the student to do self-learning. Now, till 7th standard, what the teachers will do, they will write down the question along with the answer for all the chapters present in a subject. If you take science subject, if 10 chapters are there under the science subject, for all the 10 chapters, they will write the question and answer for all the chapters. If you take light chapter, under light chapter, at least they will write 15 questions along with the answers. So if you learn those 15 questions, it is more than enough for you to score full marks. But this method is followed only till 7th standard. From 8th standard, it is not like that. From 8th standard, if you take light chapter, you have to learn the entire chapter. Like the whole chapter you have to learn completely. They won't be giving any questions separately for you to learn. You have to read every single line in the chapter. You need to frame questions and you need to learn it on your own. And you don't have an idea what question will come in the exam also, because they can ask from any part of the lesson. So the teacher should teach how to do self-learning. The teacher has to take a chapter, should read it line by line, and should teach students how to frame a question for every single paragraph. Only when the teacher teaches that method, the students will be able to do self-learning on their own till the end of their life. Not only in 8th standard, it will be very helpful for all the standards, and also in all phases of life, it will be very helpful to do on their own. They won't find any difficulty for doing self-learning when you teach them the correct method of doing it. So a good teaching is when the teacher is teaching the student on how to do self-learning. So this is very important. The next point is providing variety of learning experiences to pupil. Variety of learning experience is nothing but you're going to learn by doing it, or you're going to learn by seeing it. Now, for example, role play. Now, a teacher, instead of teaching the supplementary lesson, like instead of telling a story or narrating a story, if the teacher is making the students enact the story, it will stay in the head of the students for a very long period of time. You can call up 2 students, and for example, if in that supplementary, there is Ramu and Somu, you can tell one student to act like Ramu, another student to act like Sonu. So whatever Sonu is doing in that lesson, that student Sonu should perform. And whatever Ramu is doing in that lesson, the student Ramu should perform. So only when you're doing and showing it to the rest of the class, the students will be able to understand it much better than narrating it. So instead of narrating, when you do, they learn it. And especially the 2 characters who enacted in front, they will have more knowledge about that lesson because they sat and they prepared on how to narrate. So only when you do something, you learn it much better than others. And instead of listening, when you see something happening in a story format, that is more nice, in a drama format, that is more nice to learn and more easy to remember for a longer period of time. Next, field trip. Now, like everyone knows about chocolates, but no one knows how it is made. Only when you are taken to a chocolate factory and when you are shown to all those process on how they are manufacturing it, you will get to learn how this is happening, how they are making chocolates, what are the ingredients used, how they are doing the packing. All this you can learn only by seeing the process and by listening to the process. This can be done only when they take you to the field trips. When the school takes you to a field trip to the chocolate factory, you get to learn about the process of it. You will never forget it lifelong because you're seeing the process and you're also listening to every single step. So the learning experience is you are experimenting it in real life and you are seeing it in real life. You're doing it. You're not just reading and memorizing it. You are doing it, so it will be in your head for a longer period of time. Next, experiments. So experiment is also very important. Now you're learning something. You're learning that the magnet, without actually touching the safety pin, they will get attracted. The magnet and the safety pin, they will get touched without really making it touch. So how this is happening? If you read, you won't understand. When you are really going to keep a safety pin and when you're bringing a magnet near the safety pin, it goes and attracts with the magnet. Only then you really learn, and it will stay in your head for a longer period of time, because you are actually doing and seeing it and you're confirming that this is true. So it will be in your head for a longer period of time. Next, group discussions. When some topic is given to you and each one in the group is telling some point, that is going to help a lot, because when a topic is given, you will get some points regarding the topic. Like, you will have an idea about the topic. But when everyone is telling their point of view, you will get to learn new things, because the points said by others, you would have not thought about that point at all. It will be some new information for you. But when you are discussing in a group, you get to learn new ideas. You get to learn new things about that topic, which your brain didn't think of, but other people's brain thought of. The same for others. They would have not thought about the points which you got. But when you are telling, they learn from those points. So group discussion, you learn from everyone's idea along with your idea. So this is very helpful. So this is also coming under the learning experience only. Next is taking care of individual difference. So a good teaching, we can say that a teacher should not be partial to any student. Because some student, they are from rich background, some are not from rich background. And some are very intelligent, very attentive in class. Some are not that intelligent, that attentive in class. But you have to treat every student equally. You should not be partial or give importance to a particular set of students. You have to give equal importance to all students. Only when you give equal importance to all students and you teach, we can say that yes, this teacher is a good person, a good teacher who is giving equal importance to all. And yes, she's doing a good teaching to all the students. We can say that. So every student will be different. Everyone will be having unique character. No students will be having same exact character. So the teacher should accept their character and should move with them in that way itself. If a student is really rude, you can call personally and tell, don't be like this. You are a nice person, so please be like this. Like that, you can tell it in a very soft manner so that they will definitely listen to what the teacher is saying. Instead of telling that this student is rude, so I will not bother about this student at all. This student is soft, so I will concentrate only on this student. The teacher should not say like that. That is not good teaching. And this student is rude, so I won't teach that student. Even if the student has doubts, I won't clarify it. Only for the student who is so soft, I will be teaching. That should not be the teacher's attitude. The teacher should teach every student equally. Any student has any doubt, the teacher has to solve the doubts. Should teach properly. Should give equal importance in teaching to every single student. Next, some students, they will be fast learners. Some will be slow learners. So for slow learners, the teacher should give more importance. Should teach twice or thrice. The same concept the teacher has to teach thrice or 2 times for the student to understand it much better. So the teacher who takes extra effort to make even the slow learner study, we can say that those teachers are doing good teaching. Next, enhancing human relationship. Definitely, the teacher has to teach how a student has to behave in the society with other human beings. Should be polite with all the human beings. Should have respect to the other human beings. Next, should build in strong relationship. That is, when you are speaking with other human beings, you have to be so polite and you should be very disciplined to them so that they feel, yes, this person is a very nice person, so we need to be a good friend to this person. So that kind of a feel you have to give to the other human beings you are speaking with. So that has to be taught by a teacher who is good. Next, developing reflective thinking. and practicing skills in pupil. So what do you mean by reflective thinking? Reflective thinking is you're not blindly going to do something for the future. You're not just going to take a paper and pen and write some random things that you're going to do in the future. Only after analyzing what you really want to become, you will take a paper and pen and write what steps you have to follow in order to reach that. So reflective thinking is only after knowing your exact goal, you are planning for your future and not blindly taking a paper and writing. So the teacher needs to develop that skill in you. The teacher has to make every student really think of a goal and really focus on that and follow the steps from now on in order to reach the goal successfully. Next, developing humanism and problem solving ability in children. This is very important. First, you need to treat every human being like a human. You have to be polite with all. You are not supposed to see money. You're not supposed to see the caste. You're not supposed to see other parameters in order to mingle with others. You just have to see their character. If the person is really good, definitely you can speak and be a good friend with them no matter what they are and how they are. That is not our business at all. Just by looking at whether they are rich or whether they are poor or whether they are studying well or they are not studying well. So by looking at these parameters, you're not supposed to choose a friend. You're supposed to choose a friend only by looking at the character, because character is very important and not money or other stuffs. Next, humanism. Definitely, when someone wants a help and if you are in a position of helping, definitely you should go and help them. That is a good humanity. Without helping, if you stay quiet, that is not a good thing. So a good teacher will teach you humanity. Humanism will be taught by a good teacher. Next is learning interest in children. Definitely when you give a lot of activities and when you keep a lot of group discussions, they will get an interest in learning. Next, in the classroom teaching, teacher-pupil relationship should be there to a greater extent. Definitely, yes. The teacher should not be too strict. The teacher should give freedom for the students to freely ask questions whenever they get doubts. So that freedom should be there. The teacher and the student should act like friends. The student should feel free to ask the teacher that, ma'am, I'm not able to understand this topic, or sir, I'm not able to understand this topic. Can you please repeat it again? At least that much freedom should be given for every student to ask to a teacher. Okay, now the last point. Good teaching apart from classroom interaction. Classroom interaction is very important. But apart from that, there are two things which are very important. One is formative assessment, another one is summative assessment. Formative assessment is nothing but you have to ask questions in the class. That is, you have to keep oral tests in the class. Now, if you're taking some topic, after completing that topic, you can ask questions to the students so that you can get to know how much they have understood. And you can also keep small class tests. When you keep small class tests, you get to know where students are going wrong and you can teach them that you're going wrong in this area. So please learn this and concentrate more on this so that in your final exam you will be able to perform well. So formative assessment is nothing but this is an area where you're going to teach students from their mistakes. Next, it is summative assessment. Summative assessment is the examination which is kept at the end of the course. Now, when you're completing 8th standard, a final examination will be kept. You're going to test the knowledge of the student on the entire 8th grade syllabus. So, you're going to test how much knowledge the student has. How much knowledge of the 8th grade the student is having, you're going to test at the last. Only when you do these formative assessment well and learn from your mistakes, you'll be able to perform very well in the summative assessment. Next, one more important point is self-learning. So for the self-learning, you can also give seminar to the student. You can say that you have to prepare seminar on this topic. So the student will go search from various textbooks, search from various sources, and will collect lot of points regarding that topic, and will do self study, will self learn and come and present it in front of the class. So these are the various characteristics of a good teaching. I hope you have understood this answer. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share it with your friends.